Welcome to episode 1 of Velocity with Sherry Barna. I'm really excited about this. I've dabbled in podcasting in the past and have been guests on a few podcasts, but I just really felt like September of 2022 was the time to launch, so I'm super stoked. Today, I'm just going to talk about Velocity and the context and meaning behind the name and what I really expect this podcast to, do, basically, and what you can expect from me. So first, the name. A few weeks ago, I was just driving home from somewhere and the name Velocity popped in my head, and I wasn't 100% sure what it meant, so I'm like to my husband, what does velocity mean again? And he basically said it is the concept of speed, of the speed of which something moves in a direction. So when I dumb it down, because I'm no physics major and I'm definitely not into math, it's just speed plus direction. And I really love the idea of that. Speed and direction are two essential factors in developing business and living a successful life, really. So first, let's talk about speed. If you've followed me in the past, you know I've talked about this once in a while. So many times I see people just living at such a slow pace of life that even when they want to do something, their passion dies out before they can even get started. Whether it's working out, whether it's in business, whether it's relationship development, they just kind of die out. They're in purgatory and they never see their objective come to fulfillment because they are frozen in time, essentially. And this is my pet peeve when I see this happen, and I hate being frozen. It's one of the worst things you can do. Speed is the opposite of, obviously, staying still. It's deciding to go fast and moving with your momentum. A phrase that often runs through my head, again, another math phrase. I don't know why I know these things, but it's a body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest. And I love it because it's true. And I remind myself of that when I'm starting to lose steam or when I feel the momentum slowing. I'm like, it doesn't matter how slow you go as long as you continue moving and putting one foot in front of the other. In general, I am a yes person. If I have an idea, I run towards it and go for it. And this has worked out for me for the most part. And sometimes I've made mistakes. This podcast is one of those things where I'm like, I'm going to do it. And I just started doing it. Other times I've been like, crap, I went the wrong way. I'm moving in the wrong direction. I need to stop. And with speed, I decide to end it. If it's taking too much money or resources or time, it's okay to end something that's not quite working for you. I see a lot of entrepreneurs stop. They'll just be like, but I poured so much time and effort and money into this. I don't want to stop. But it's like, just stop, trust me, because life will be a lot easier if you do. You don't need to continue developing a sinking ship, essentially. Now, of course, not all life can be intense and fast, but we should always be moving towards our better selves. If you are listening and you are in the business world, corporate agility is crucial, and we have to do things in a speedy manner. It's the way we are in 2022. This is exactly why I love working with small businesses versus big established businesses, because they're kind of like a speedboat versus a cruise ship. So if you've ever been on a cruise ship, I went on one on my honeymoon. It's really nice. The government agencies, big business, they are like an established cruise liner, like a Titanic, if you will. And the problem with the Titanic, it sunk. Why? It couldn't turn quick enough when it saw that iceberg. And that's often what I see happening in business. Whereas small businesses, I completely love working with them because they can turn on a dime. When I work with small businesses, there's a trend. If there's a trend happening online, I can call up the owner and right away say, let's jump on this. So a few weeks ago, I don't know how it happened, but do you guys remember from childhood the Little Miss or the Little Mister books? It's like Little Miss Smiley or whatever. There was this big trend online, and the bigger businesses, they had to go through like the corporate ladder. They had to meet with people, get it approved. It was just too much effort and work to be able to capture the trend because it was very short-lived. Whereas small businesses, they're like, yep, let's do it right now. And it happened. So that's like a microcosm. Let's go a bit wider. TikTok. TikTok is huge right now. And a few years ago, I started saying to people, you know what, let's start getting on TikTok. The algorithm's amazing. You're going to get eyes on your brand. And right away, the small businesses were like, you know what, sure, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We could always quit. But the big businesses and the government agencies, they were held up with the approval process and meetings and data-driven research. All good things, no doubt. But what happened? They missed taking advantage of the algorithm that made so many people viral. Even still, I look at big restaurant chains, and their social media doesn't reflect current trends. Some don't even have TikTok or even a YouTube channel. Speed and agility is essential when it comes to business. And really, I do think life too is just, if you see opportunity, you got to say yes and jump on it and figure it out as you go along, but do not miss the opportunity. Now for the second part of velocity, which is speed and moving forward in a direction. We'll talk about direction. This more has to do with leadership and intentionality. It's knowing what you want out of life and moving towards that. It's getting 1% better every day, so to speak, and it's a forward-minded approach to life. James Clear talks about this in his book, Atomic Habits, one of the best books I've ever read. I didn't get through it fast. I just took it really, really slowly, because his concepts were so good, something you could put into practice right away, again, speed. And honestly, one of the best books I've read in general about life and business and success and fitness, everything. But the idea, anyway, is that we push forward with continuous improvement. We always think we need these big gestures to make progress in life. But often those big gestures that take up way too much time or effort, we just don't have room for, really. So if you think about fitness, for instance, I know so many people who are like, I'm going to do that fasting thing. So they don't eat for 12 hours of the day and they eat for within a 6-hour window. Well, it's not sustainable. So soon enough, it works. They see their progress. They're really happy with what's happening. And then they stop. It's just too huge to continue. It's not a real lifestyle development. So James Clear in the book, he just basically says, get 1% better every day. And then he gives tips and reasons how to do that. And it's effective because it really works. But what he says is these small commitments actually add up to really big commitments over time. And it's easy to do because you can easily add it into your life or remove it if it's something you need to remove. So it culminates in this. If you get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Small choices do not add up to much at the time, but they add up over time. So I'm going to say that again. Small choices don't add up much at the time, but they add up over time. And I love this because, again, it's a continuous forward motion. So I don't know if you guys love Justin Bieber, if you're believers, but I don't know if you know this, but he has a tattoo on his leg, and the tattoo says, better at 70. The concept behind this tattoo is grace. It's basically saying, listen, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm better than where I was yesterday. And slowly, when I'm 70, I'll be where I basically want to be. It's that getting better 1% each day, making small changes to your lifestyle, which adds up over time. And you can look back and say, thank God I started whatever. So he'll be better at 70. And I really love that concept. Not that I want that inked on my leg or anything, but I just love the idea of it. And I think this is really a secret to living a successful life. No matter what your age is, your job, your passion, obstacles, I think there's a lot to be said about people who aim to continually improve each day. Whether it's improving relationships, improving business, improving physically, mentally, spiritually, continual improvement is the secret to life. If you're listening to this podcast right now, I would suggest that every day you're moving forward and you're trying to improve every day. So for instance, a couple months ago, I was just like, I need to start drinking water because I would literally have a glass of water a week. That was something so simple that I'm like, I'm just going to add to my life. Only, I think it's 32 ounces a day. And then slowly now it's a non-issue. I don't have to force myself to drink. I'm not getting up at bedtime being like, crap, did I even drink today? Now it's just something that it's worked into my life. So I'm continually improving now. I'll make whatever the next step's going to be, it's going to be. So if you are listening to this podcast, I'll tell you right now, my goal is to help you move along your path. I want to inspire you with great interviews. I want to tangibly help you with marketing strategy and maybe even creating a healthy mindset. Whatever topic I choose, I really want to keep in mind velocity, speed, and movement. I want to help move you forward in a direction of intentionality and get you ready for whatever it is, whether it's a job, whether it's just creating a better mindset, whether you want to start working out and eating healthier, whatever. It's going to be focusing on a variety of topics, but the goal is to just help you succeed 1% at a time. So if you listen and you take one nugget and apply it, that is my goal. So I would be very super happy to hear about that. So let me know. Once you shut this podcast off, however, you have two options. You can put your head